Okay, thank you, Doctor. As I look around, I did ask that you fill up the front rows. Since you didn't listen to me, up next is Father Dusenberry. Now, he's not going to have church, but I told you to fill up the front rows. Father?
It's just like church. Everybody's in the back. Hi, I'm Chaplain Dusenberry. I'm one of 4 chaplains that will be on this ship when we deploy, and one of 6 that will be in our strike group when we deploy. My main job and our main job as chaplains is to provide religious ministry for the crew of this ship and for our strike group when we're deployed. I also, for the faith groups that we don't represent individually as chaplains, my job is also to help those faith groups facilitate for their religious needs. So for instance, I don't have any chaplains that are Jewish, but I have Jewish sailors on the ship. And so we have a lay leader who's Jewish that leads Jewish worship, and I help that lay leader get what he needs. So that's my main job that I do, provide and facilitate for religious needs. But we also care for the crew. So for the active duty folks, we are the point of contact, one of your points of contact on the ship, to provide care for you if you're struggling or having difficulties during the deployment. But for the family members, what I want you to know is that there are resources available for you too. And I encourage you, if you haven't done so already, before you leave today, make sure you get around the room. You know, I think, does Comic-Con start today or tomorrow or something? Today? So Comic-Con, the big thing with Comic-Con, has anybody ever been to Comic-Con? Okay, one person. So the big thing with Comic-Con, I heard, is to get a swag bag, and you go around and you collect stuff, and you get things. Well, this isn't quite as good as Comic-Con, but we have things that you should get and take with you. I really encourage you to do that. We have, back in the corner where the chaplains are at, hey, raise your hand, chaplains. So there's the chaplains back there. We have back there a pre-deployment pamphlet that we put together. Very simple, doesn't take up a lot of room. I mean, you can stick it in your pocket. You could get a magnet from the ombudsman, who are over here, and you could actually stick it on your refrigerator. But in this pamphlet, we have the contact information for some of the groups that are around the table. Fleet Family Service Center, we have their contact information in here. The Red Cross, it's in here. The chaplains that are in the local area, their contact numbers are in here. So that if you as family members need something, you don't know where to go, you can fill this pamphlet out, you can contact one of the chaplains locally, you can contact the Chaplain Care website, you can contact Fleet Family. It's all in this pamphlet right here for you. And then the other thing that I wanted to offer you also is I have a pre-deployment checklist, and I gotta be honest with you, I didn't make this up. I've been around for a few years, and when I was with Marines, we gave this to our Marines, and I pulled it out the other day and I changed everything that said Marine to Sailor, and anything that was Marine Corps specific, I got rid of it. And I changed a few little things, but I looked it over, and as I was looking it over, it reminded me there's things that I need to do that I haven't done yet. You know, for instance, is the registration on my car going to expire? Well, actually it is. So I need to do something about that. So I would encourage you to get one of these checklists and just look it over. Take some time to prepare. CMC was here when I arrived on the ship 2 years ago. Captain was here, and I think maybe one other pod was here. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me how long I've been on the ship for, and I told them I've been here 2 years on the ship. And they asked me if we had deployed, and I said, no, not yet. And they said, what have you been doing for 2 years? And I thought about it, and I said, well, we've been getting ready to deploy. And we've done that for the last 2 years. This ship has been getting ready for this deployment for 2 years. And we're not done yet. If you could look through here, you would see in the hangar bays equipment. There's work being done on the flight deck. The preparations for this deployment will take place up till the moment that we leave. And as family members, you need to take a little bit of time to prepare for deployment. You can't wake up on August 21st and do something about it. You need to use some time right now to get yourselves and your families mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ready for this upcoming deployment. That's how we'll be successful for you. So we're back in the corner. I encourage you to come back, talk to us. If you have any questions, we have you need a Bible, we have some of these digital camouflage Bibles. These were donated. I picked this one up. They have, a lot of times they have notes in it. So here's a note that somebody wrote. Thank you for your service. Love, Jared. I showed it to Father Dwyer. He said, I think Jared had a homework assignment, and he cut it short. But we have these back there if you'd like to get a Bible or talk to Petty Officer Schumacher about United Through Reading. If you have children, it's a great program. So please stop by before you leave. Pick some information up. Ask us questions if you have them. Does anybody have any questions for me right now? No? Okay. Thank you. Thanks again. Look forward to seeing you around.
Thank you, Father. I got good news, good news. August, if you're adding to your family, and the delivery will be anytime after August, the chaplains send them all that great information. It's a boy, it's a girl, the name, how long, how many pounds, and I promise you, when the ship pulls in, Father Dusenberry will see to it your spouse is on that first group of guys that is running towards you to see the new bundle of joy. I can promise you that. That's Father Dusenberry. Raise your hand again, chaplains, and those guys, that's what they do. So there's still time if you're thinking about it. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't know? Okay. From time to time, stuff happens that is not always great news, okay? So I need everyone to pay attention to our next speaker. As Miss Michelle walks towards the stage from our San Diego American Red Cross chapter, please take notes and pay close attention. Oh, come on up, Miss Michelle. Hey, Lather. Come on. Oh.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michelle Hankin, and as Master Chief said, I am an American Red Cross caseworker. I know you all are about ready to go, and I apologize. We're trying not to keep you too long. I want to speak on the baby messages. For those of you that think that AmCross messages are bad news, it's not always bad news. We can send that Red Cross message for that new baby. So I want you to know that you can call us. We'll get the information to the command, and they'll get a phone call home if they're able to. Now, a little about myself. I'm a 25-year Navy wife. I'm a Navy mom. I'm a grandmother. And so what does that mean to each of you? Probably nothing. But what that means is I'm also that Navy wife that has a teenage daughter at home that may be sick or injured that needs to have her sailor home. I may be that mom that's sick and is in the hospital and needs to have her son home. So I'm going to be that mom that's going to be talking to you. I'm also that grandma that, quite frankly, may have passed away. Nobody likes bad news. The unfortunate part is it happens. It happens on deployments every day. What happens to you? What do you need to do, families? You need to call the American Red Cross. And our phone number up there is 877-272-7337. We are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There is somebody there to answer that phone. Sailors, I beg you, please be sure that your families are ready. Be proactive, not reactive to the emergency. My team over here, and tonight I'd like to tell you that I'm welcoming our brand new Board of Directors President and our brand new American Red Cross CEO here at their very first opportunity to come and see us. Stop by and see our team and pick up this flyer. This flyer has everything in it. Sailors, make sure that your families know where you are. Sure, you're on this ship. Sure, you're deployed. How many John Smiths are there in the United States Navy? There may be a lot. There may be more than one on this ship. We get phone calls every day from families that say, my service member's in Afghanistan, he's in the Army, and his name is Tom Jones. Can you find him? Sailors, Tell your families this information. Leave this information with your families here and send it to someone overseas, or excuse me, over the horizon, someone that's not here. Because like I said, it may be that grandma, it may be that mother that is ill. A couple of things that people don't think about is they don't think it'll happen to them. You're the first phone call I get. I want everybody to keep in mind that not every emergency qualifies for a Red Cross message. That's when we get to work with the chaplain's office and say, hey, maybe this is another direction you can go. We'll send you to your ombudsman and put you in touch with them, and they may be able to get the information to the ship. How many have family that live outside of the country of the United States? Some countries do not have a cooperating agreement with the American Red Cross. That does not mean that we can't help you. What that means is there's some very specific information that we need from you. We have information at our table about that. Not every Red Cross message that goes out means your sailor is going to come home. We understand that the emergency is just that, it's an emergency. But let's be real. Is an emergency of getting your wisdom teeth really? And getting them pulled, is it really an emergency? I've had that call. My son fell off his skateboard and cracked his head open. Okay, we understand that's an emergency. I don't know where my husband is, he's on a ship, he's somewhere out at sea. Okay, is everybody okay? Is everybody safe? Is anybody harmed? Is he hospitalized? We're gonna go through those questions. We're gonna walk you all the way through and calm those waters of how to get a Red Cross message. But sailors, make sure your families know. A couple of other things. Make sure that you pick up families this disaster preparedness for Prepare San Diego. Fires are prevalent here in San Diego. Earthquakes happen. Please make sure your family's prepared. You have a disaster kit. In that regard, you'll see my team, we're all wearing blue vests. Please stop by and register to win. We're gonna give away a 4-pack of family for 4 disaster kit. It's a 3-day supply of disaster products for you and your family should an emergency happen. Does anybody have any questions about any of this? So I just want everybody to know that here in San Diego, just a couple of numbers just to keep really clear. Last year, just here in San Diego, we have 4 call centers. We have San Diego National Headquarters, we have Port Sill, Oklahoma, Louisville, Kentucky, and Springfield, Massachusetts. But just in San Diego alone, we delivered 47,195 emergency messages to military families worldwide from our center. Our emergency communications center, there's about 30 caseworkers there, collectively 30 of us. We handled over 303,600 calls last year alone, just in San Diego. We understand that nobody wants to get a Red Cross message. Sometimes it happens. In closing, I want to thank every one of you for what you do. We can't do what we do without you doing what you do. As a Navy mom, thank you. Thank you for keeping my family safe. As a Navy wife, please keep doing what you're doing. And as a grandparent, please make sure that our future is secure. Thank you. Have a great deployment.
Thank you. Walk this way. Thank you, Michelle. I want you to put that number in your cell phones as well. American Red Cross. Come on, you can text faster than that. Come on. American Red Cross, 877-272-7337. Put it in your cell phones tonight. If something bad happens, which we hope won't happen, call that number. They'll help you, okay? You got it? 877-272-7337. So there's good stories to be told. And Dad or Mom always read the little ones the stories before they went to bed. They can still do so. he can still read you a book if you like. So Samantha is going to tell you about United Through Reading. Samantha?
Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? I really want to first extend my thanks to each and every one of you. I'm a Navy spouse myself, been through a few deployments, so I know how tough this is. But I'm here to tell you about an opportunity that can help keep your family connected all through this deployment. And that's called United Through Reading. And this program is open to any one of you who are deploying who has a child under the age of 18 in your life. So that means they're your child, they're your stepchild, a younger sibling, a niece, a nephew, a godchild, even a grandchild. Anybody under the age of 18 in your life, we want you to read to them. So this is how it works. You're going to go to the chaplain's office and sign up to read a story. You're going to arrive there, and there's going to be a bookshelf, and you can pick a book that's age appropriate to the child that you're reading to. We want you to sit down, and you're going to be in this room by yourself, so we want you to get goofy. We want you to get comfy. We want you to read to your child like they're in the room with you. Once you're finished the recording, it takes about a half an hour, you're going to receive a DVD, which you can then pop into an envelope and send to that child. Super duper easy, makes a whole lot of sense, and makes a whole lot of difference in the lives of your child and of yourself. Why is this important? Well, your child is going to see your face, they're going to hear your voice. This is especially important for our parents that are deploying who haven't yet met the child that they're going to read to. So we hear all the time, oh yeah, I have a little one on the way, but he or she isn't going to be reading by the time I get home, so it's not really important that I read to them. You're wrong, absolutely wrong. Because how often have we seen a ship come home, dad comes off the ship, grabs the little one that he's never met before, and the little one's screaming bloody murder because they don't know who this strange person is. Well, I can tell you that that's not the case if you've participated in United Through Reading. I've heard so many stories from moms who have tears in their eyes saying, he'd never met this baby before, but the child knew that man's face and knew his voice, so we were a family as soon as he walked off the ship. It's super important, so please, please, no excuses, you gotta participate. Another thing that's great about this program is it allows you to be a family for 30 minutes a day, even though you're thousands of miles away. Super important. It also eases, like I said, homecoming anxiety, not just in the little ones, but in the whole family. And it's also building in your kids, or the kids in your life, a love of reading, which is important at any age. We encourage you to do multiple recordings. There is no limit on how many recordings you can do. And we also encourage, if you have a child who you know loves a specific book, pack that book with you in your sea bag, and then when you've done that recording and you have the DVD, throw the book in that envelope and send it home. When it gets home to them, it's like Christmas morning. They see you on the screen and they have a tangible book in their hand to read. And that's it. Thank you so much. I really encourage you guys to participate.
Hello everyone, I'm Joanne from Navy Marine Corps Relief Society and truly appreciate the invitation to us to tell you about our services. And I'm especially happy to be here since the program I support day to day is our shipboard office program, and the USS Carl Vinson is one of 40 ships that have this program on board. And Senior Chief Danito Winfrey is the overall coordinator for that service. Next, please. Next. Originally called Navy Relief Society, and most people still think of us as Navy Relief, we are the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society today, but still the same organization that provides emergency financial services and other kinds of services to active duty members, their families, retirees, and their family. Next, please. Our purpose is to provide that emergency financial assistance, but our longer-term goal is to help everyone achieve financial self-sufficiency so that you will be able to take care of not only your bills, but also know what to save. Thank you. Next. The slide gives you a variety of areas of financial assistance. Most common are emergency travel needs, motor vehicle repairs, basic living expenses such as rent, mortgage, food, gas and electric bills, and many times pay problems as well. Next. You've heard many speakers give you planning tips for deployment. This slide is just to let you know if any of you will be leaving San Diego. Our services are still available. If you're near a Navy and Marine Corps base, there will be one of our offices. However, if you're near an Army base, Air Force base, these branches have their own relief agencies, but people from the Navy and Marine Corps can ask for financial assistance at one of these offices. Next, please. Again, you've heard this from other speakers. The ID card, check it to see that it will be valid throughout the deployment. Whether you're single, married, with or without a family, we'd be glad to do a budget for you before you leave, help you to make a plan on paying your bills, and whatever else will help you. You heard the JAG officer talk about general powers of attorney. We accept general powers of attorney as a form of pre-authorization. We also have a special form, which means the service member gives us permission in advance to give financial assistance. If we don't see one of those documents, then we will send an email to the service member for his or her permission to provide assistance. Next. And these are a few additional tips, again, which have been brought up by the earlier speakers. Next, please. This slide gives you a listing of other services that we provide. And most importantly is our Budget for Baby classes with associated Baby's First Sea Bag. We have thrift shops in several locations of San Diego County, and these are available for anyone who has an ID card. It's a good place for uniform items, civilian clothing, and small household goods.
Just the top.
Next, please.
Just the top card. I'll switch this one for the second card.
Navy Relief started with a small group of volunteers. Today, there are over 3,800 volunteers, both ship and shore. We constantly invite people to volunteer. The setting can be in the office, in the thrift shop, or if you're talented with knitting or crocheting, you can make items for our layette. We supply you the yarn. And in return, you get satisfaction with helping people in the Navy and Marine Corps family. We also reimburse for childcare and mileage and provide training as needed. Other opportunities even include at Naval Medical Center, where we have a unique hospital visitors program. And another volunteer effort is coming to pre-deployment events. Daisy Reyes has come with me this evening. She's a volunteer and has been offering information to people who come by the table. Next, please. Our locations are here at Naval Base San Diego, Naval Base Coronado, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Miramar, and up the coast at Camp Pendleton and Santa Onofre. The American Red Cross acts as our agent in providing emergency financial assistance when our offices are closed, or if you happen to be more than 50 miles away from any military base. Next. So thank you very much for your attention. Again, the invitation. Thank you for your service. I hope you have a safe deployment, And for everyone, please remember, we're here to help. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And final, we gotta do it right. If you don't, you get in trouble, right? So we're gonna talk a little OPSEC first. So our special agent, Agent 007 Porterfield, it's all yours.
Hi, good evening. My name is Special Agent Hannah Porterfield. I am the NCIS agent assigned to the Carl Vinson. I've been here for just about 2 years, so I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about operational security and how that can affect your family, your service member, and how to protect the sensitive information that is associated with the Carl Vinson. Next slide. So you may ask yourself, what is OPSEC? OPSEC is critical information that is unclassified that our adversaries are trying to obtain. So it's important for us to keep that information close hold, so adversaries cannot capitalize on that sort of information that we could be inadvertently putting out for public consumption. Next slide. So what is critical information? That could be photos of you and your service member, passwords that may be associated with your Facebook, other social media accounts, banking accounts, specific mission capabilities of the ship or aircraft that are associated with the Carl Vinson. Obviously, deployment schedules, port visits, specific timing about those sorts of port visits is also information that our adversaries could be trying to obtain. Next slide. So everybody here has a Facebook account, right? I have a Facebook account. I love Facebook, and I know that a lot of you do as well. So it's very critical that we keep certain specific information off of Facebook. When we're on Facebook, we need to be careful about what our security settings are. If you don't know all of the options with security settings, I highly recommend that you go on your Facebook account, your Instagram account, and look at those security settings. There's an option on Facebook where you can use an HTTPS account, web address where your profile is a little bit more secure than if it's just regular open browsing. I would encourage you to make sure that your passwords to Facebook accounts, your banking accounts, that sort of thing, are strong and they're not just your date of birth or your child's name or your spouse's name. Next slide. So a quick self-check for yourself. You may want to go home tonight or sometime this week and kind of look at what you're putting out to the world with a critical eye. So are you posting a lot about what you or your spouse does for the military? Is your full date of birth available for consumption by other people? Is your home address out on the internet? All of those things can put yourself in a vulnerable position. Next slide. So again, what can you do? I would don't discuss the deployment schedule, specific dates, that sort of thing, with people who don't have a need to know. When you have anything that may have personal information on it, shred those documents. That could be bank statements, insurance information, that sort of thing. And if you see another spouse or a friend of yours who may be opening themselves up to being vulnerable for this sort of information being put out to the world, I would encourage you to be a good friend and gently point that out to them. Just say to them, have you thought about this? I would suggest that you maybe take that picture down or take that information that you're putting out down just to protect your family and the Department of the Navy. Next slide. So this is my contact information. I work here on the ship full time. So if there are any questions, please let me know. I will be over off to the side over here if you have any questions about this or anything else that's related to NCIS. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Agent Porterfield. Hey folks, I've never had gray icing. Nevertheless, there's plenty of cake left. It's over there, okay? I'm gonna go back to having some cake. Let me introduce you to the Big XO. Damn, now everybody will know where I was.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name's Captain Walt Slaughter. I'm the executive officer on board. Again, thanks to all the Carl Vinson sailors, and especially the family members that came out tonight. Great turnout, a lot better than we expected. So great to see everybody out there. I hope the information that you got was valuable, and you can put it to some good use as we get ready to head west. How about one more thanks for all our presenters, the Ombudsman, the FRG, Fleet Family Support, Navy Legal Service, TRICARE, Chaplains, Red Cross, United for Reading, Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, and NCIS. So thanks again to everybody. The tables will be open for a while, so please do not leave here with a question unanswered, or at least the right direction to go get it answered, okay? Appreciate that. Last thing, obviously an event like this can't be pulled off without a lot of help from the ship. So a special shout out to the legal department, especially our discipline officer, Lieutenant Napier, who was the point man and set this event up, with the assistance of the supply department, who set this great venue up and put on the great food, air department for letting us use their hangar, navigation, weapons department, security, and our MWR department. So how about a round of applause for all those folks, as well as all the duty section folks over the last couple days that helped us put this together. So it's a team effort. Appreciate all that went into this fantastic event. With that, that concludes the formal portion of tonight's presentations. Again, the booths will be open for a little bit. Sailors, feel free to show your families around the ship. I will warn you, when you get outside the fancy blue curtains, it's a bit of an industrial zone. We got a lot of work going on, so please just be careful as you move about the ship. But feel free to show your families around while they're here, and enjoy the rest of the night. Have a good one. Thanks.